Top of the morning to you. Happy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the 8th day of July, 2020. I am Dan Kuntz, and we're back at it for another day of local television information, local television entertainment, and local television TV. A lot of news to get to. It's 59 degrees outside of our studios. Cool day yesterday, only hit 75. I was watching one of the local Spokane stations when I got up this morning. I get up early, as you might imagine. And they mentioned that Spokane has not even hit 90 degrees yet this year. We've hit 90 a couple of times, but not very much. It's been a cooler than normal summer. For a lot of people, they have no problems with that. But we're going to gradually start warming up. We have dispatched with the wind for the most part. Still a couple of gusts here and there, but we're going to warm up gradually all the way to Saturday, and then by late Saturday night and early Sunday morning, we cool back down again. Forecast details are coming up. A lot of news to get to. Sports, things are starting to get a little dicey for the fall sports high school schedule. They've delayed the opening of that. We'll talk about that when we get to sports and everything else you're used to, including the obscure holidays, some celebrity birthdays, today in history, and an opinion from Mike Mad Dog Bignotti that you have never seen before because we haven't aired it before. It's funny how that works out. At 2 minutes after the hour, let's get going with our morning tour. And of course, we always begin with the cross camera. Very handy tool, and it is a tool, not a toy. We got to remind our coworkers of that every once in a while. Let's go play with the cameras. And we've actually had people email us and get a hold of us, say, hey, those cameras that you have all over the place in the North Central Washington area, those are really neat. Can we log on and move them around? And of course, the answer to that is no, you can't. Sorry. But yeah, it's just the way it is. We use it as a tool so we can see what's going on out there. And one of the nice things about living in the Wenatchee Valley, it's, from a square footage standpoint, kind of small. We're kind of a compact little valley here, but we have those high ridges right around the populated areas, which means we can get spectacular views like that. You can't get a view like this from, say, Moses Lake. Nothing wrong with Moses Lake, but Moses Lake is flat. The Wenatchee Valley is not. Good morning to the Wenatchee Valley and the mighty Columbia River. From this point forward, it's a guessing game for me. Most of the time, I do pretty good. The hose landing, Megan? Hey, I got one right. Good morning to our friends at Hose Landing. You can see Earthquake Point to the far right of your screen. And that's basically Lake Aniat is what you're looking at. Beautiful view there. Look at the orchards getting the job done. Wenatchee's way, way off in the distance. I took a Sky-Fi rig up to the Hose Landing site one time. And not only does it have a Sky-Fi camera up there, it has a Sky-Fi tower, and it has repeaters and translators and transmitters and things like that. Boy, that's a dicey drive. It's not for the weak of heart. There's a couple of hairpin turns that you're hoping nobody's coming the other direction. Good morning to our friends in Hose Landing. Nobody lives up in Hose Landing, of course. Can you imagine plowing that driveway in the wintertime? Camera number 3. Let's say good morning to, she threw a curveball my way. Okay, I got to think here. It's a camera we use a lot, but it's been moved. I want to say Steins. That's the Apple Andes camera. Boy, you did move that. Okay, good stuff. So it's moved a little bit to the east. So that's the highway right at the bottom of your screen as folks are making the commute from Cashmere to the Wenatchee Valley. A lot of people, of course, live in the Cashmere area, but they work in the Wenatchee Valley. Pretty easy commute there. And that's one of the new packing facilities, I believe, that went up just a couple of years ago. Nice view there. So basically, if you keep going to the left, you'll be heading on into Monitor and then eventually to the big city proper. Good morning to our friends at the Apple Andes camera. That's nice stuff there, Megan. Camera number 4. I forgot what we call it. Jumpstick? Cole's Corner. Come on, Dan. Come on. Oh, that reminds me, I mentioned Jumpstick. Don't forget they're doing chip sealing work on the Jumpstick Highway between Leavenworth and up towards the Lake Wenatchee area. So expect delays there if you take that road on a regular basis. If you don't and you just need to get through, Highway 2 is your way to go. So good morning to our friends up at the Lake Wenatchee area. Thanks for joining us. Beautiful area up there. Love it. 5 minutes after the hour, one quick slide to show for you. Seasonable temperatures. Yep, nothing really crazy out there. This is kind of a broad paintbrush that we're using, but temperatures will be fairly comfortable, low 80s, and then we warm up to the mid 80s. Thursday will be upper 80s for the Wenatchee Valley anyway. On Friday, could peak right around 90 degrees on Saturday before, as I mentioned before, early Sunday morning. The models are indicating that a cold front will move through the region. Probably not going to give us any rain for the valley, but it's going to pick the wind back up again. It's all about timing. What we really don't want is wind on Saturday night, because of course we're going to be at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval for another night of broadcasting racing at the WVSO. And when we did it a couple of weeks ago, it was windy. I mean, it was really, really windy. And it was hard for our folks to communicate with each other. Hopefully that won't be an issue on Saturday night. We're keeping our fingers crossed. So comfortable, for those people who don't have air conditioning, this has not been a bad summer at all. You haven't had to worry about how to keep cool. All right, Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling sponsors our weather forecast. They give your home a hug, and as you can see there, things are looking just fine. Lots of sunshine today, high of about 83 degrees. As far as the wind, just a breeze, northwest wind about 5 to 10 miles an hour, pretty light and variable really after that. Mostly clear skies tonight, 59 for the overnight low, northwest wind about 6 to 10 miles an hour. Just the occasional gust here and there. Nothing to worry too much about. A little bit cooler maybe on Thursday with a couple of passing clouds. Outside of that, partly sunny and a high of 81 degrees. Thursday night, partly cloudy, 60, 59, 60, right around there for the overnight low. Friday, we really start warming up. There's going to be a weak ridge of high pressure. It's not very strong, but it's expected to come in behind the cool weather, which we're going to get on Thursday, which means we're going to warm up to about 85 on Friday, but lots of sunshine, 62 for the overnight low on Friday night. Saturday, lots of sunshine, warmest day of the week by far with a high of 90 degrees. Saturday night is when this cool front comes in and the ridge breaks down. It's not a very strong ridge to begin with, so it's not going to take a lot to knock it out of alignment. So partly cloudy, overnight low of about 63. Big cool down on Sunday. Sunshine, high of about 80, and then again we warm right back up again, 82 to 84. Sunshine for the most part, few passing clouds on Thursday as a weak trough comes in and then leaves again. Looks like not a lot of wind for the Wenatchee Valley, and I am all for that because I am sick and tired of the wind. It's been a strangely windy late spring and right on into summer. 59 degrees, quite a bit of sunshine outside of our studios. We're going to take a quick 1-minute break, and when we come back, we'll have your Wednesday morning news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, live this morning from Studio 2 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel. Contractors, furniture makers, and weekend do-it-yourselfers around north central Washington will tell you that Lombard's Hardwood Supply is the place to get what you need. Lombard's full millwork shop can handle jobs large or small. Lombard's has a full line of interior and exterior doors available, as well as custom barn doors. From alderwood to zebrawood and everything in between, it's Lombard's Hardwood Supply on School Street in Sunny Slope. Like us on Facebook and check out our monthly special.
In the heart of the Wenatchee Valley lies a unique Ford and Lincoln dealership. This is Pat Armstrong Ford Lincoln, home of the lifetime warranty. Pat Armstrong Ford's mission is to exceed your expectations by taking pride in making your car buying experience as comfortable and timely as possible. This mission is consistent in every department, including parts, service, and sales. We are community strong and community safe in East Wenatchee.
9 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday morning, we're looking at clear skies, 59 degrees, lower 80s for our high today, lower 80s with a couple of passing clouds on Thursday, warming up Friday, warming up still on Saturday, major cool down coming on Sunday. Let's take a look at your headlines. A total of 31 workers at a Columbia fruit packing facility in East Wenatchee have now tested positive for COVID-19. The first few cases came to light a couple of weeks ago, and after closing down its packing line, the fruit company asked to have its remaining 93 workers tested Thursday of last week by Columbia Valley Community Health. Now, None showed symptoms, but those tests confirmed 16 more cases. The packing facility is located, by the way, near Pangbourne Memorial Airport. Columbia Fruit says those who've tested positive are now in isolation. They can return to work after 10 days if they show no further symptoms. The findings help bring the valley's total coronavirus cases to 753 as of this morning. Positive tests for COVID-19 continue to rise in Grant County. 79 confirmed cases between Saturday and Monday. The Grant County Health District said there are currently 16 people hospitalized with the virus. The latest cases came again from all over Grant County. Positive tests in Quincy, Moses Lake, Ephrata, Mattawa, and Royal City. So far, Grant County has had 709 positive tests for COVID-19. 6 people have died. Positive cases of coronavirus are surging here in our area. The Chelan-Douglas Health District reporting 753 known cases as of today. 15 people hospitalized locally for COVID-19. 3 of those under hospital care are from either Chelan or Douglas County. Others hail from surrounding counties. There have been 180 new cases in Chelan and Douglas County in the last week, 86 of them since the 4th of July. Yesterday was the first day, of course, of the state order mandating the use of protective facial masks while in a public space. As the COVID-19 pandemic accelerates, it has the potential to affect all areas of local society. At the Chelan-Douglas Board of Health meeting last Friday, where high infection numbers discouraged an application to move to a new recovery phase, Chelan PUD General Manager Steve Wright said the community needs to take steps to aid and protect businesses, including the PUD itself.
Widespread community exposure is a problem too. If this were to get out of hand, it's a real risk with respect to the potential of having to go backwards. And I think it's a bit of a long shot, but I have to say I do worry about utility reliability. If we were to lose a core group of people in a certain number of jobs at the PUD, we would have a difficult time maintaining electric system reliability, water and wastewater and fiber as well. And then I just really strongly believe we shouldn't just be victims. We need to control our destiny. We need to take action to encourage masking up, to open up. The thermometer graph proposal that's embedded in this that suggests that we keep the community informed as to how well we're doing on folks employing masks, I think is a very important way to get everybody involved in trying to get ourselves in a better position to be able to help our businesses. Outreach to vulnerable communities is another big opportunity for us that we can make some progress on, and it's not clear, but we may need to shore up some of our contact tracing as well. And I just want to commit that the Chelan PUD is willing to financially support all of those activities. We believe this is important, and we can get ourselves in a position to be able to open up more businesses when the time is right.
If you find yourself stressing out over COVID-19, the state has a number you can call for help. It's right there. It's called Washington Listens, and it's for people with elevated levels of stress caused by the pandemic. The anonymous support line is available for free, 9 a.m. to 9 o'clock Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 o'clock Saturdays and Sundays. Support specialists have been trained to offer individual support during the COVID-19 pandemic. They will also have information on local resources to help. 2 men from Yakima are in jail after a drive-by shooting in the middle of a Wenatchee neighborhood which wounded a passenger and another automobile. The gunfire broke out about 2:48 in the afternoon on Monday. A neighbor provided this dramatic security camera footage of the incident. Police say 20-year-old Alexander Lopez was a passenger in that maroon Ford Explorer that you saw, and he fired a rifle towards a Honda Accord near the intersection of Douglas and Idaho streets. Officers stopped the Explorer at the North Wenatchee Avenue Wendy's restaurant, where they arrested Lopez and the driver, 26-year-old Juan Mendoza Rodriguez. A passenger in the Honda later appeared at Central Washington Hospital with a bullet wound to the leg. Lopez allegedly admitted firing a rifle after a verbal altercation with people in the Honda and said he feared they were reaching for a weapon. Both men faced charges of first-degree assault. A brush fire just outside of Twisp was quickly contained Monday night, but not before burning into a couple of power lines. Fire crews from Twisp, Winthrop, and the State Department of Natural Resources responded to the fire. It was off Twisp, Winthrop East Side Road on Balky Hill Road at 9:30 in the evening. They initially had to wait for the Okanagan PUD to cut power to the lines before they could attack the blaze. The fire was out and power restored by midnight. The cause of the fire is under investigation. The reintroduction of grizzly bears into the North Cascades? Not going to happen. Interior Secretary David Bernhardt announcing yesterday at a roundtable in Omak that the federal government will not move forward with a restoration plan to bring the bear back to the central Washington wilderness. 4th District Congressman Dan Newhouse has opposed the plan for years. And Bernhardt said yesterday, quote, "The people who live and work in north central Washington have made their voices clear that they do not want grizzly bears reintroduced." The draft plan was created in 2017, and it set a goal of restoring 200 bears throughout more than 2.6 million acres. There may be now fewer than 5 wild grizzly bears in Washington state. The bear has been listed as a federally threatened species since 1975 and endangered in the state of Washington since 1980. And finally, the Wenatchee Police Department sending out its thanks to all the people who cleared out of Walla Walla Plain Park ahead of Saturday's fireworks show. A couple of police officers in Chelan PUD security had to empty the park ahead of the show, and, quote, "The job was very easy thanks to everyone who left when asked," unquote. And on a personal note, it was super easy for us to get the broadcast van out of the parking lot at the Town Toyota Center on Saturday night because there wasn't any traffic. In years past, we were waiting 90 minutes or so before we could leave. We zipped right out of there. 17 minutes after the hour, that's what's making headlines. We'll check again on those in the back half of the hour. Of course, Eric is on assignment this week, but we're still putting together a newscast. And with a preview of what we're working on for tonight's newscast, here's the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, fallout from the first day of the no mask, no service mandate from Governor Inslee. I'll have your complete and less windy north central Washington weather forecast. And Dan, you'll be in once again for Eric Granstrom with a look at all the day's sports. That, all the day's news and more coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan, back to you.
It's appointment viewing for me. I hope it's appointment viewing for you. And don't forget, you're not locked into those times, 5, 6, and 10. You can watch the evening news at your own volition. We'll have it up and running on our website and on our YouTube page right around 5 o'clock. So you can watch it on your smart device or whatever the case may be without actually having to remember to tune in at 5, 6, and 10. We'd love to hear from you, our viewers. This is as much your TV station as it is ours. Get a hold of us if you have a news tip or you just want to drop us a line. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com, news@ncwlife.com. You can go to our Facebook page, drop us a note via Facebook Messenger, or if you go to our website, ncwlife.com, you'll see the Contact Us icon at the top of the screen. And then you have a couple of options there. You can either submit a news tip to the news team or just drop us a note, whatever the case may be. We're going to take a break. When we come back, sports. Patrick Mahomes is a rich guy. Hey, you win the Super Bowl, you get a raise. Russell Wilson will tell you about that. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, my name is Manuel Navarro, Chief Operating Officer at Columbia Valley Community Health. Patient safety is our top priority, including providing care that just can't wait. With enhanced safety precautions, we want to ensure you that we're able to continue providing safe and efficient in-person care at our clinic. From in-car check-in, ongoing screening, immediate rooming, your family can get the safe care that they deserve here at Columbia Valley Community Health.
How do you know when it's time to go to Boswell's Furniture? When you know the look you love, the colors you want, but need a little design help to bring it all together. With Boswell's complimentary design service, Glenn, Buffy, and Teresa guide you until your vision becomes reality. More styles, more fabrics, and more choices of quality home furnishings fill Boswell's expansive 2-story showroom so you can see it and feel it before you buy. Come into Boswell's and explore the endless possibilities of home furnishings. Boswell's on Easy Street. It's closer than you think.
20 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday, let's talk sports. The WIAA Executive Board took action to delay the start of the fall season until September 5th for football and September 7th for the other fall sports. The first day of practice for football was originally set for August 19th, with the remaining fall sports, that would be volleyball, girls soccer, girls swim and dive, and cross country, set to begin their practice a week later. Now, the WIAA mandates a minimum of 12 practice days before the first game for football and 10 practice days before the first contest for the other fall sports. Now, the board will continue to work with staff, member schools, and state agencies to monitor the impact of COVID-19. The executive board plans to make its next statement concerning the start of fall sports on July 22nd. That's following its next scheduled meeting. In the interim, a committee of board members, staff, and selected WIAA stakeholders will work to create a fall schedule with the adjusted start dates. We'll keep a close eye on that. Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson's 15-month reign as the NFL's highest paid player came to an end on Monday, and in a big way. The Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs agreed to a new 10-year deal with their quarterback and MVP, Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes, though, didn't just eke past Wilson as the highest paid player in league history. Instead, Mahomes agreed to a contract that shattered precedents, besting Wilson's deal by more than $10 million a year, officially signing a contract reported by Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network to be worth up to $503 million, with $477 million in what he referred to as guaranteed mechanisms, whatever that is. Rappaport said the Chiefs have to guarantee Mahomes' salary a year out each season or cut him, which would allow him to become a free agent. Now, the deal includes $450 million in new money over 10 years, with the contract officially starting after the 2021 season. That'll give Mahomes an average of $45 million per year from the years 2022 to 2031. That blows past the $35 million per year that Wilson's getting, and roughly $40 million per year for the life of that deal. Reports further stated $140 million was guaranteed at signing, a figure that matches the total of Wilson's deal with the Seahawks. So there you go. Wilson signed a 4-year deal with $140 million in April of last year, which technically takes effect this year and runs through the 2023 season. I picked the wrong profession. That's sports. At 22 minutes after the hour, the obscure holiday of the day today, National Chocolate with Almonds Day. That sounds good. Almonds are really good for you. Chocolate, not so much. Almonds, yeah. You eat a lot of almonds, you're doing good. Almonds reduce the risk of heart attack. It lowers bad cholesterol. Eating almonds protects the artery walls from damage. It builds healthy bones and healthy teeth. It provides healthy fats. It helps you lose weight. You eat almonds, it lowers the blood sugar and insulin after meals. It helps, it's really good for the old noggin. It nourishes the nervous system. It's just plain good for you, almonds are. And then we cover them in chocolate and ruin all of it. But I like almonds. I don't much like almonds just by themselves. They just don't have it. Almonds with a chocolate bar, like a Hershey's chocolate bar with almonds, no, that's another story altogether. So sometime there in the course of this Wednesday, go out and have some almonds with some chocolate as National Chocolate with Almonds Day. Always observed on July 8th because it was on the internet. And if you read it on the internet, you know it has to be true. Today in history, you know it has to be true. On this day back in 1947, 73 years ago, July 8th, reports are broadcast that a UFO, an unidentified flying object, landed in Roswell, New Mexico. Crash landed. It became known, of course, as the Roswell UFO incident. Now, if you're going to have a government conspiracy theory, rule number one is don't change your story. Find something you like and stick with it. Because when it first happened, the U.S. government said it was a weather balloon that crashed. And then about 53 or 54 years later, they changed their mind, and the military said it was actually a nuclear test surveillance balloon. Whatever that is. I'm going to go to Area 51 myself and find out what the heck's going on. Yeah, the Roswell UFO incident still fascinates people all these years later. We're never going to learn the truth. It's better to let it go. There are rock and roll tours, and then there are rock and roll tours that people go, what? July 8th, 1967, 53 years ago today, the Monkees began a huge tour, 29 dates all over North America. Opening for the Monkees, the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Yeah. Jimi Hendrix, the opening act, followed by the Monkees. After 6 shows, the tour promoters said, you know, Jimmy, it's not a good idea to have you be the opening act for the Monkees. 2 different audiences. Oh well, happened on this date 53 years ago today. And the very final space shuttle mission, after 33, there was 33 of them. The very last one, the space shuttle Atlantis, took off from the launching pad in Florida, the 33rd and final mission of the space program. It was a pretty easy deal. They only had 4 astronauts. That's it. Just 4 of them. And they went up and they resupplied the International Space Station and came back down. And the space shuttle program, which started with a huge amount of excitement back in 1981, very quietly came to an end 30 years later, 9 years ago. Finally, birthdays. America's first billionaire. I've read a fascinating biography on John D. Rockefeller. I read it 20 some odd years ago. It's called Titan. John D. Rockefeller was born in the state in 1839, lived a long time, lived to the age of 97, died in 1937. Now, if you consider the real value of how much money he had, if you adjusted for inflation and you use, your wealth measured against the gross national product of your country, he would be by far the wealthiest American of all time. I think Jeff Bezos is worth like $170 billion the last I saw. John Rockefeller in today's money would be worth $400 billion. The guy had a lot of money. America's first billionaire, John D. Rockefeller, born in the state in 1839. And to his credit, he spent a great deal of his time, towards the end of his life, giving it away. He always said, if you die rich, you didn't do a very good job. The great Johnny Johnson, the American pianist and songwriter, born in the state in 1924, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, class of 2001, a Congressional Gold Medal, best known as Chuck Berry's pianist for almost all of Chuck Berry's hits. Their divorce was rather acrimonious. However, Johnny Johnson, probably, most people agree, probably co-wrote most of Chuck Berry's great rock and roll classics with Chuck Berry, but Chuck Berry took sole credit for the music. Late in his life, Johnny Johnson sued Chuck Berry for songwriting royalties and credits. The judge threw out the case because he said the statute of limitations has run out. Sorry about that, Johnny Johnson, but remember the great music of Johnny Johnson, born in the state of 1924. Speaking of rock and roll legends, Joe B. Malden, born in the state of 1940. You probably don't know who he is, but I do. He was the bassist for the Crickets. He and Buddy Holly. Yeah. We miss Joe. Joe died of a heart attack back in 1974. He was inducted, the Crickets were, into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class of 2012. The great Joe B. Malden, born in the state of 1940. And Kevin Bacon is 62 years old today. Of course, the trivia game 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon was huge. He had such a prolific screen career. He was in so many movies and so many different genres. The idea is you could associate Kevin Bacon with almost any actor or actress currently working by going through the 6 degrees of separation. He didn't much care for it when it first came out, but when he realized it wasn't going to go away, 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, he embraced it. And now he has a charitable organization called 6degrees.org, and it's a social networking site that links people to charities and vice versa. Happy birthday, Kevin Bacon, 62 years old today. It is the bottom of the hour. Going to take a break. When we come back, an opinion from Mike Mad Dog Magnotti. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
You don't have to be a member to enjoy the view and dine in style at Highlander Bar and Grill in East Wenatchee. Open 7 days a week, Highlander Grill offers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Dine in or take it to go, our friendly staff is here to serve you. Reservations recommended for Friday night's prime rib dinner. Call for live music dates. Hi, I'm Shalane, site coordinator for Highlander Grill. Give me a call to schedule your event today.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda power equipment? From snowblowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse?
JDSA Law is a proud sponsor of these local sports broadcasts. They've been serving North Central and Eastern Washington since 1946. For over 70 years, their team of dedicated professionals has delivered quality, innovative legal services. JDSA Law partners with you to provide the finest legal advice and support as you navigate your personal and business challenges, risks, and accomplishments. At JDSA Law, they salute our local athletes and wish them well on another excellent season of competition.
Pass along a smile today. Buy a box of chocolates for a friend or for yourself from Chocolat. Order online and pick up locally, or Chocolat ships almost anywhere. For your cheesy cravings, the Cheesemonger shop is open. Call ahead, stop in, or order online and they will ship. Everyone say Cheesemonger shop. Sage Mountain Natural Foods and Deli in Leavenworth is open for all your nutritional needs, supplements, bulk foods, produce, and more. Call now for more information and hours of operation.
No calories, no sweeteners, all smiles. Bubbly, sparkling water. Crack a smile.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, recently at a dinner party, a friend told me that if I voted for a third-party candidate like the Libertarian candidate Joe Jorgensen, it's really a vote for Trump because it takes a potential vote away from Creepy Joe. Hogwash. I said, doggone it, I have the right to vote my conscience, and you can't tell me that in doing so, I'm voting for the Cheeto Man just because I don't like him. Okay, just because you don't like him. Well, I don't like him either, and I'm not going to vote for him, and I don't vote for who you want me to, and you can't blame it on me if I don't. And you can't blame it on me if Trump is reelected. That's ridiculous. This is Mike Mad Dog McNally, and that's my opinion.
What is it to be a volunteer firefighter? Is it the gear, the training, the vehicles you learn to drive, the honor of protecting your community? Time, energy, sweat, sometimes blood and even tears. Every call may not be a victory. Sometimes you'll walk away wondering if you helped at all. But sometimes you will be a hero.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning has been proudly serving the Wenatchee Valley for over 35 years. And just as Dick's has been there for you, they have also been an essential part of our community, supporting local youth sports all year long and your Wenatchee Wild.
Thanks for your support. Thanks, Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, for all your support. Thank you.
Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, your local, independent, trained comfort specialist. Call 884-6444 today.
What is it about Tipsy Canyon Winery that keeps people coming back? Is it the magnificent view from the hillside tasting room? Is it the exceptional but affordable wines? Or is it just the fact that you feel right at home from the minute you walk through the door? Actually, it's all this and more. Experience the Tipsy Canyon Winery located just outside of Manson, your new home away from home.
And we're back on this Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, the 8th day of July. We have quite a bit of sunshine, 61 degrees, lower 80s today and tomorrow, warming up to 90, they tell us, by Saturday before we cool back down again. I'll give you the forecast details in detail before this program is over. But first, another look at what's making news at 36 minutes after the hour. A total of 31 workers at a Columbia fruit packing facility in East Wenatchee have now tested positive for COVID-19. The first few cases came to light about 2 weeks ago, and after closing down its packing line, the fruit company asked to have its remaining 93 workers tested last week by Columbia Valley Community Health. Now, none showed symptoms, but those tests confirmed 16 more cases. The packing facility, located near Payne-War Memorial Airport, Columbia Fruit says those who've tested positive are now in isolation. They can return to work after 10 days if they show no further symptoms. The findings help bring the valley's total coronavirus cases to 753 as of this morning. Positive tests for COVID-19 continue to rise in Grant County. 79 confirmed cases between Saturday and Monday. The Grant County Health District said there are currently 16 people hospitalized with the virus. The latest cases, again, come from all over Grant County. Positive tests in Quincy and Moses Lake, in Ephrata, Mattawa, Royal City. So far, Grant County has had 709 positive tests for COVID-19, and 6 people have died. Positive cases of coronavirus here in Chelan and Douglas counties continue to rise. According to the Chelan Douglas Health District, there are 753 known cases as of today, with 15 people hospitalized locally for COVID-19. 3 of those under hospital care are from Chelan or Douglas counties. The others hail from surrounding counties. There have been 180 new cases found locally in the last week, 86 of them just since Independence Day, the 4th of July. Yesterday was the first day, of course, of the state order mandating the use of protective facial masks while in a public space. As the COVID-19 pandemic accelerates, it has the potential to affect all areas of local society. At the Chelan Douglas Board of Health meeting last Friday, where high infection numbers discouraged an application to move to a new recovery phase, Chelan PUD General Manager Steve Wright said the community needs to take steps to aid and protect businesses, including the PUD itself.
Widespread community exposure is a problem too. If this were to get out of hand, it's a real risk with respect to the potential of having to go backwards. And I think it's a bit of a long shot, but I have to say I do worry about utility reliability. If we were to lose a core group of people in a certain number of jobs at the PUD, we would have a difficult time maintaining electric system reliability, water and wastewater and fiber as well. And then I just really strongly believe we shouldn't just be victims. We need to control our destiny. We need to take action to encourage masking up, to open up. The thermometer graph proposal that's embedded in this that suggests that we keep the community informed as to how well we're doing on folks employing masks, I think is a very important way to get everybody involved in trying to get ourselves in a better position to be able to help our businesses. Outreach to vulnerable communities is another big opportunity for us that we can make some progress on. And it's not clear, but we may need to shore up some of our contact tracing as well. And I just want to commit that the East Chelan PUD is willing to financially support all of those activities. We believe this is important, and we can get ourselves in a position to be able to open up more businesses when the time is right.
Now, if you find yourself stressing out about the COVID-19 pandemic, the state has a number you can call for help. It's called Washington Listens, and it's for people with elevated levels of stress caused by the pandemic. It's an anonymous support line. It's available. It's free from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 o'clock on Saturdays and Sundays. Support specialists have been trained to offer individual support during the COVID-19 pandemic. They will also have information on local resources for help. 2 men from Yakima find themselves in jail after a drive-by shooting in the middle of a Wenatchee neighborhood which wounded a passenger in another automobile. The gunfire broke out at 2:48 in the afternoon on Monday. A neighbor provided this dramatic security camera footage from the incident. Now, the Wenatchee Police Department says 20-year-old Alexander Lopez was a passenger in that maroon Ford Explorer, and he fired a rifle towards a Honda Accord near the intersection of Douglas and Idaho streets. Officers stopped the Explorer at the Wendy's restaurant on North Wenatchee Avenue, and that's where they arrested Lopez and the driver, 26-year-old Juan Mendoza Rodriguez. Now, a passenger in the Honda later appeared at Central Washington Hospital with a bullet wound to the leg. Lopez allegedly admitted firing a rifle after a verbal altercation with people in the Honda and said he feared they were reaching for a weapon. Both men face charges of first-degree assault. A brush fire outside Twisp quickly contained Monday night, but not before burning into some power lines. Fire crews from Twisp, Winthrop, and the State Department of Natural Resources responded to the fire off Twisp-Winthrop East Side Road on Balky Hill Road. This was about 9:30 in the evening on Monday. They initially had to wait for the Okanagan PUD to cut power to the lines before they could go after the blaze. The fire was out and power restored by midnight Monday. The cause of the fire is under investigation. The reintroduction of grizzly bears into the North Cascades is not going to be happening. Interior Secretary David Bernhardt announcing yesterday at a roundtable in Omak that the federal government will not move forward with a restoration plan to bring the bear back to the Central Washington wilderness. 4th District Congressman Dan Newhouse has opposed the plan for years, and Bernhardt said, and I'm quoting now, "The people who live and work in North Central Washington have made their voices clear that they do not want grizzly bears reintroduced." Now, the draft plan, created in 2017, set a goal of restoring 200 bears throughout more than 2.6 million acres. There may now be fewer than 5 wild grizzlies in Washington state. The grizzly bear has been listed as threatened by the federal government since 1975 and endangered by the Washington state government since 1980. Finally, the Wenatchee Police Department sending out its thanks to all the people who cleared out of Walla Walla Point Park ahead of Saturday's fireworks show. 2 police officers in Chelan PUD security had to empty the park ahead of the show, and quote, "The job was very easy thanks to everyone who left when they were asked to leave," unquote. That's headlines at 43 minutes after the hour. Going to take a quick break. One quick look at sports when we come back, and also your weather forecast. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Join us for Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life channel. This former police sergeant is plugged into not only the world of the streets, he's an actor and connoisseur of the arts. So join Mike and his guest for, well, Street Talk and Other Stuff. Mondays at 10 a.m., Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m., and Wednesdays at 5:30. It's Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life channel.
This hasn't been easy for any of us, and we don't know all that lies ahead. But as local business owners, we can't wait to welcome you back. So as we reopen, we'll be wearing masks. We all have different opinions about them, but standing with your neighbor sometimes means standing in the uncomfortable. And you can stand with us by wearing a mask when you visit.
Oh, that's awesome. Look at that. Yeah.
There he is. Sure wish he was here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Little 4-point. It's a nice kokanee. Solid fish.
Watch the Northwest Outdoorsman with Richie Herod Saturdays and Sundays at 6 a.m., 9:30 a.m., and 4:30 p.m. on the NCW Life Channel.
Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
We are back at 46 minutes after the hour. In sports, the WIAA Executive Board took action to delay the start of the fall sports season until September 5th for football and September 7th for the other fall sports. Now, the first day of practice for football was originally set for August 19th, with the remaining fall sports, which is volleyball, girls soccer, girls swimming and diving, and cross country, set to begin practice a week later. Now, the WIAA mandates a minimum of 12 practice days before the first game for football and 10 practice days before the first contest for the other fall sports. So some adjustments are going to be made. The board will continue to work with staff, member schools, and state agencies to monitor the impact of COVID-19. And the board plans to make its next statement concerning the start of fall sports on July 22nd. That's following its next scheduled meeting. In the interim, a committee of board members, staff, and selected WIAA stakeholders will work to create a fall schedule with the adjusted start dates. We'll see. Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson's nearly 15-month-long reign as the NFL's highest paid player came to an end on Monday, and in a big way. The Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs agreed to a new 10-year deal with MVP quarterback Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes, though, didn't just eke past Wilson as the highest paid player in league history. He agreed to a contract that shattered precedents, besting Wilson's deal by more than $10 million a year. Officially signed a contract reported by Ian Rappaport of NFL Network to be worth up to $503 million, with $477 million in what he referred to as guaranteed mechanisms. And I don't know what that means. Rappaport said the Chiefs have to guarantee Mahomes' salary a year out each season, or they have to cut him, which would allow him to become, of course, a free agent. Now, the deal includes $450 million in new money over 10 years, with the contract officially starting after the 2021 season. That will give Mahomes an average of $45 million per year from the year 2022 to the year 2031. That blows past the $35 million per year that Wilson was getting. Reports further stated $140 million of that was guaranteed at signing, which is exactly what Russell Wilson's deal with the Seahawks was, apparently. Wilson signed a 4-year deal worth $140 million in April of 2019, but that contract doesn't actually take effect until later on this year, and it runs through the 2023 season. Suppose it's good to be a winning quarterback in the National Football League. We're going to take a break and wrap up this program with one more look around the valley and your weather forecast. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV.
Every week, we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together, we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely the espresso shakes.
My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Hey everyone, Fletcher and Amy Ellington here from Live It Up. In the investment world, ROI stands for Return on Investment. Well, how does better health, better wealth, and better relationships sound for ROI? Join us every week right here on NCW Life and learn how to invest in the most important asset, you.
We're going to answer your questions and provide some weekly inspiration so you can create a life that you love. Join us on Live It Up.
So Pam, how's your mom doing?
She's okay. She's struggling. She'd like to stay in her house, and it's getting harder for her to do the daily chores.
What kinds of problems is she having?
Just basic house cleaning, you know, taking care of her house, yard work, taking care of her medicine.
Mm-hmm. It does sound exhausting.
It is very exhausting, and I always worry about her.
Aging and Adult Care can assist you or your loved one to remain comfortably and safely in their own home. Contact them today to start the conversation.
This is Caitlin Hedershe, the producer of the NCW Life magazine. Each week, I'm bringing you a look behind the scenes of the faces, places, and events that make North Central Washington the place we call home. Tune in every weekday for an in-depth look at a new topic each week. From local artists in their studios to businesses breaking barriers that might surprise you and everything in between. Join me on the NCW Life magazine right here on the NCW Life channel.
And we have returned on a very pleasant Wednesday morning. Bountiful sunshine, 62 degrees. Complete forecast details are coming up. I'll give you a little preview right now. We're done with the wind. A little bit of wind on Thursday. There's going to be a weak trough of low pressure is going to come in Thursday. It's going to make things a little breezy and a little cooler. But outside of that, looks like, for a while anyway, no more wind. And what's been an oddly windy spring and early summer. We have the time. We thought we'd take another tour around North Central Washington now that the sun is really starting to climb in the sky. I didn't do this at the beginning of the show. I normally do. Let me do this real quick. Sunrise this morning was at 5:14. Sunset tonight, 8:58. That's 15 hours and 44 minutes of daylight. We are losing about 45 to 50 seconds of daylight each day as the days gradually get shorter. But this time of the year, it's almost imperceptible. The Wenatchee Valley proper, from our cross cameras, we look down to the Columbia River. I've mentioned this also before. I'm reading a book, fascinating book on the history of the Columbia River. It came out a couple of years ago. It's amazing how much the Columbia River has changed in the last 100 years since the introduction of the dams. The Columbia River used to run really fast, lots of rapids, very dangerous from top to bottom, all the way down to the Pacific Ocean. It's still a little on the dangerous side, but essentially, with all the dams, the Columbia River isn't really so much of a river as it is a series of reservoirs, is really where it is. And the other thing I thought was fascinating about this book, there's basically, you can't put any more dams in the Columbia River. From a cost feasibility standpoint, it doesn't make any sense. There's no place to put them anymore, number one. Number two, it costs so much to make a dam and build a dam and maintain a dam, it just doesn't make any sense. So we have what we have as the mighty Columbia River rolls on, as we look at Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, and Sunny Slope. Camera number 2, if I remember correctly, if we're using the same cameras, is that a hose again? Okay, and it's also it's a beautiful view. My IFP just went dead, so I'm just going to wing it here. Lovely view of wheat, the waving wheat. Oh, it's Badger Mountain. Okay, thank you, Megan. Badger Mountain. My guess is looking to the north. I'm just spitballing there, but that looks like that's what we're looking at. Badger Mountain looking to the north. Beautiful view there. A nice drive, too. A really, really nice drive on up to Badger Mountain. And now you can actually take Badger Mountain Road all the way into Waterville without having to worry about destroying your transmission, which wasn't always the case until about 5 years ago when they paved the whole thing. Camera number 3. We moved it again, so you're going to have to help me out here, Megan. That's Valley High. Hi, Valley High. Hi, Valley High. That's good. I like that. Right down in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, I think you can see just a sliver of Blewett Pass, US 97 Blewett Pass, which is a very pleasant drive indeed. So we say good morning to Valley High. And it looks like we're pointing that one pretty much to the north. That's, again, I guess some of these views are so spectacular, you kind of lose your bearings. You're trying to figure out what it is that you're looking at. So good morning to Valley High. And camera number 4, that is McNeil Canyon. That one I know. Good morning, McNeil Canyon. It's good to see you. As we look out over the beautiful Lake Chelan area, way off in the distance is Lake Chelan, of course. Looks like, now, it wasn't that long ago, just a few weeks ago, when we looked at the top of McNeil Canyon, camera pointing in exactly that direction, pointing to the west. And you can still see some snow at the very top of the mountains, way above the Stehekin area, but it looks like that's all gone now. Nice view from the Chelan area, which, of course, this is the time of the year where Chelan is a hopping place to be. And then here comes COVID. But I think you can safely boat, can you not? I'll be heading up to Chelan in the not-too-distant future. I really love it up there. All right, let's take a look at the forecast, shall we? First of all, things are going to be very seasonable. We're not real warm, just very pleasant. Again, this was a statistic that blew me away this morning. Spokane, right now, it's July 8th. Spokane has not hit 90 degrees at all this year in Spokane. That is unbelievable for the Lilac City. It's a long, long stretch of not hitting 90 degrees. And we've hit 90, of course, but not very often. And what we haven't had is a long stretch of sunny and hot weather, which is something that we get every year, just about July and right on into August. That really hasn't happened. We've had pleasant weather. We haven't really had a long stretch of hot weather, and that's going to continue, as you can see, with seasonable temperatures on the way. So comfortable, certainly. For July, it's unbelievably comfortable, because normally we're either in the water trying to cool off or sitting inside our house or our office with our air conditioner on full blast. That hasn't really been the case so far this year. So there you go. All right, from Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, who gives your home a hug, here's what we're looking at one more time. Again, weather today, dry, less wind. I like that. Still a little bit of a northwest wind, about 5 to 10 miles an hour, but that's really about it. We'll top off at about 83 degrees. We're at 62 right now outside of our studios. Clear tonight, 59 for the overnight low. Little bit of wind, a little bit of northwest wind, about 6 to 10 miles an hour tonight. And on to Thursday. Thursday, there's going to be a weak trough that's going to come through. It's going to cool us down a little bit. We'll see a few more clouds on Thursday and a little bit of some light wind on Thursday afternoon and Thursday night. Not much. Northwest wind about 8 to 14 miles an hour Thursday and Thursday night. But as you can see, it's going to cool down just a skosh from 83 today to 81 on Thursday. And again, a few clouds. 59 for the overnight low on Thursday night. But overnight Thursday, as we go into Friday, that weak little trough is going to leave the area, and that means a ridge is expected to build up. It's a weak ridge of high pressure, but it's going to be strong enough to warm us up to 85 degrees on Friday, with 62 for the overnight low on Friday night. Saturday, we're going to be at the Wenatchee Valley Super Oval, and it looks like we're going to be pretty darn warm. What we don't want is wind on Saturday like we had the last time we broadcast at the WVSO. Doesn't look bad at all Saturday, with a high of about 90. Saturday night, the ridge is going to start breaking down. Again, it's a weak ridge that's going to be coming in. It's only going to stick around for a couple of days, so it doesn't take a lot for it to break up and move along. So that's going to happen overnight Saturday into Sunday. So you can see a big cool down. Saturday with a high of 90. Sunday, we're only going to get to 80, which is below normal. Our normal high temperature, by the way, for this time of the year is 85 degrees. So if you look, slightly below normal today, slightly below normal on Thursday, just about normal Friday, above normal Saturday, and then below normal on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Bountiful sunshine, again, with a small exception of tomorrow, Thursday. You'll notice a few passing clouds, especially along the Cascade Crest on Thursday. Outside of that, sunny and pleasant, I think is the best way we can put that. That's it for us. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.